Okay guys, welcome to my channel, and I'm gonna do a video on how I do my eyebrows. I get asked this quite a bit in terms of how do I do my eyebrows and how do I sculpt them. And actually that was one of the first things I learned how to do as I was doing makeup, learning how to do makeup, was my eyebrows, because I wanted to get them sculpted like I saw in makeup videos and stuff like that. So this is what I do. I have several products here and I use a combination. It depends on my mood. But like I use Anastasia Dip Brow, and that's in chocolate. Don't know if you can see it, but that's what I use. I also use this Fenty, and my shade is 385, and it's a concealer. I'd use that to highlight on top and on bottom, shade 385. And I sometimes use my MAC concealer in NC 42. I want it a little bit cooler underneath and above, because then I actually go back over it with my actual makeup afterwards. So let's get started. So I also have a pencil. Okay, and I don't know what this is. This is a MAC pencil, but it has a spoolie on one end, which you can see was well loved, because I use it to kind of smooth things out a little bit. Probably need to clean it. But anyway, I have this end, which is an angled tip, and I use it to dip into the dip brow, or if I'm using a pencil, this is a MAC pencil, and it is in the shade Strut. And so it's a brown, but it's not super, super dark. So I'm gonna go in, and I have to look over here because I can't see in there. I just kind of outline. Now these are my brows that are plucked. They're not perfect. You know, they always say that your brows should be sisters, not twins. Well, I try and get them to be twins as often as possible. So I just go in a little bit. I go underneath with the strut as well. And I just fill that in just a little bit. Can you see that? So I just kind of use quick strokes, kind of go along that natural outline of my eyebrow and bring it down a little bit. Then I go in and I take my little angled brush and I come back and I start towards the middle. I start right towards the middle of my eyebrow, with making it a little darker, because I want it to be a little darker. And I just highlight like so. A little goes a long way because it is creamy. And I come back, and you can always fix errors when you go back in with the concealer later. I try to bring that to as nice of a point as I can. And then I go back with this side and I brush towards the dark side, because I don't want to brush this way, because you don't want to make it too dark, headed towards that middle portion. So I just brush, 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 and then I brush up just a little bit, but I avoid this front portion because it should naturally fade out, not stay super, super dark. So then what I do is I go back and I have a flathead brush. This is my flathead brush. And depending on what I want to use, I will sometimes go in with the liquid. And I use my hand. I know I'm not really official with this here, but I dab a little bit on my hand. And then I take one side of the brush and I just gently use quick strokes and go underneath my eyebrow. You can go slowly so that you don't make mistakes. This is not a race. Like so. See, it's starting to look more defined already. I go back and I do it on top. Now, a lot of times people will say, don't do it on top because you don't want the halo effect. And I don't want the halo effect. And just because I've been doing this for a while, I'm usually pretty good with not making a mess and not having it be too messy on top. But if you do, you can always put more dark, a little bit more light. And as you can see, like right up there, I'll probably need to fill that back in black just a little bit. So then what I do is I turn it around, and on the side that did not have the product on it, I just start sweeping upward. Sweep up, 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 up. You can see it's lighter than my skin color. Up, up. That's what's going to give you that definition and that highlight. Here, conversely, down, 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 down. I'm just sweeping down, 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 to the side, down, down, to the middle, down, down, to the middle, etc. Then I typically will come back in with literally my finger, and I just do this. I just smooth it out, being careful not to mess up the darker portion. I do a lot of stuff with my fingers. I'm not a professional makeup artist by no stretch of the imagination. And there. I usually just kind of have a little spot there. Doesn't matter if I got a little concealer on it. And then I just kind of smooth out gently, trying to avoid the part where I actually had some of the dip brow on it. Okay, so then I go back in with my handy dandy angle brush to further define that top part and the arch. You can use small strokes. If you've gotten better at it, once you get better at it, it doesn't take quite as long and you don't have to work at it quite as much. But then I'm like, oh, I see a little dark part right there at the top that I want to make more even. So I go back in with the rest of the product that was on that brush just to smooth that little piece out. And that's pretty much it. So that is it. Now I can do the left one as well. So this is my left. It might be on the right for you guys. So I just smooth a little bit. I go in with my pencil, because this pencil is not quite as dark as my dip brow, which is the liquidy, more creamy one. And you can see this is a little fuller eyebrow. Again, they say they're supposed to be sisters, not twins. I try to make them twins. And I have to put a little bit more of an arch on this side because she doesn't like to arch very well. It's so weird the way your hair grows differently on different sides of your face or just in your head, period. So then I'm gonna do something a little different with this one. I'm not gonna use a liquid. I'm gonna use this, and I just use one side. I just dab this in, dab a little bit in, and then I come down, same process, go under, 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 under. Not perfect necessarily. And then I go over, 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 and then bring it to a point. Now this is the way I like my brows. Some people don't like their brows quite as pointy, and I get that. If I need to put a little bit more, then I come right here and just kind of refine it gently, moving along that line, that eyebrow line at the bottom. And then I just smooth, 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 smooth with the brush underneath. This also provides a nice lighter base for your eyeshadow. I always do this before I put on my eyeshadow. Always, always, always. Some people don't. I do. I prefer it that way. So then I just come and I smooth out all of this. And the thing you must remember, and somebody said this to me one time, they said eyelashes, putting on false eyelashes, they sense fear. Eyebrows do too. They sense fear. So just take your time, then smooth, smooth, smooth. Again, this is going to be covered by my foundation. So you're not going to see this lightness above here because that's not cute. Sometimes I'll come in even with my other finger and just kind of go right above that line, kind of try and make sure I don't mess up my dip brow that I placed on it. So just as with the other eyebrow, I come in and I kind of do a little press in there. And with this one, I didn't put on the dip brow before, but I'm going to put it on after. So this is just a little bit different technique that you can use. You can use the dip brow. You don't have to. You can use a pencil. You can use any pencil. You can use a Maybelline pencil. These are just the items that I have found that work for me, that I like, and that are easy for me to work with. Sometimes when I make it a little too narrow right there, I'll come back in and I'll just add a little bit of shadow right there, a little definition on that front part, very gently, because I don't want that to be too dark in there. And that's pretty much it. So this was my first video on just how I do my brows, how I get my brows done. Oh, I also have, I don't have it with me, oops. I also have some brow set, and I have it in a color called Girl Boy. It's by MAC, and I use it because my hair is lighter and these brows are dark, and it gives it a little bit of lighter color, but it's not permanent. It washes off with makeup remover at night, and I really, really like it. You can also get a colorless brow set gel. I have some of that too, because once darkness comes back to my hair, then you don't want it to, necessarily be so light. But this is pretty stark to me, these eyebrows, against the lightness of my hair. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions, and subscribe to my channel below. I'm going to be doing more videos on makeup. And I was inspired to do this because, the coronavirus, and everybody's been asking. So many people ask me. My sorority sisters ask me. I have people asking me all the time, how do I do it? So I'm going to be doing more makeup videos, and let me know if there's something you'd like to see, like a smoky eye, or how I do my highlight, that kind of stuff. But again, this is just brows. And sometimes I'll just go like this and just put on some foundation. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon.